Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. Today's episode we'll be talking about something interesting, something about having a name. I'm reminded of Ramli Sarip's song.
Bukan kerana nama.
Yep. So we have today with us Ustaz Dr. Hannan, or probably in this episode I'll be calling him Baba because he's my father-in-law. So of course I've known him for almost more than 5 years now. For all the times that I've known him, he's always been in MUIS. I've known him, I think, initially as the Deputy Director for MUIS Academy, as well as heading up the Harmony Centre. That's in his professional sense, and then later on he moved on to be the Deputy Mufti, at least for the past 5 years. And then outside, he gave talks, give lectures. He's still very much in touch with the ground, giving kuliah subuh, giving talks over the weekends in various mosques in Singapore. So welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, Izzat.
Yeah. So today, I think it's quite an interesting topic because I think recently, all these titles you put it aside, you decide to probably pursue a bit more of what should I say, more of your interest lah. Something that's unrestricted, something that you can have your own creative freedom, something you're not confined to maybe a certain red tapes, certain organization rules. Maybe you can share a bit more on what are your thoughts when you first handed in that resignation letter, and then you're like, you know what, I'm no longer gonna be the Deputy Mufti. I don't have this title. How will the people know me now? Maybe just be on that.
The very interesting question is that serving others is basically serving yourself. It is really a journey to salvation. When we serve others, these people are opportunities and reasons for us to get closer to Allah SWT. And yes, you do not need, in order to serve others, you do not need titles, positions, and authorities. Just like when you serve Allah SWT, all the titles, positions, your power, they do not mean anything. So what one needs in serving others is just simply a sincere heart, a compassionate heart with empathy and love for others. With the titles and positions come greater responsibility. So this is just like the uncle of Spider-Man, who said that with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, I don't deny that these titles and positions give you access, which you may not enjoy it without those titles. I don't deny that these titles and positions give you a bit of a clearer voice and authority, because rightly or wrongly, fortunately or unfortunately, people do look at titles and positions.
Yep.
For example, I remember decades ago, I used to say things, I used to express views and articulate certain ideas. Well, those didn't get much attention. But when you hold certain position, authority and power, they gain attention. And similarly, I mean, people with power, when they say things, people listen carefully. But without the titles, you may not have or may not enjoy such privilege. That I don't deny. However, my life has always been serving the others, serving peoples. And I say peoples in plural because it's not just about serving my people. It's not about serving only one community, but really serving the plural peoples, communities of different backgrounds, religions, beliefs, and so on and so forth. So that has always been my passion. While titles and positions do help, but I can continue to serve, inshallah, with or without the titles. It just requires really a sincere heart. Now, this reminds me of, I've said this many times, that you find wisdoms Allah's wisdoms, God's wisdoms among His creations, among His servants, with or without a title. Very interesting story. I have a massage therapist whom I go regularly. So one day during the conversation, he said that last month he wasn't around because he was rushing home to meet his ailing grandmother. So he spent his whole 1 month pay. And really, he flew, traveled through land and sea because very remote place. So he took almost a day to be by his grandmother's side. But unfortunately, he could not make it. He could not make it in time. So I asked him, is it worth all the cost and the efforts? No, it is like your 1 month pay. And he said, what more worthy, more valuable than family?
Yep. Of course.
So he was prepared to do anything. Now that is serving the others. Right? He doesn't have the authority nor the power. He has very limited resources and he spends all his resources available then to serve the family. And what more worthy to serve than family members?
True.
See, so that's really a great lesson that I learned from him. So yes, I do not hold the positions or the titles. I've been playing a supervisory role for decades now. I started to head a unit very early of my tenure in MUIS, and I've been holding various mandates. Yeah, but inshallah, the journey continues.
That's good. That's good to hear. I mean, is the first thing that came to mind when you shared about serving others. That's a really arduous task.
Indeed.
Because definitely titles do play a role. I think just recently, I think we met this chap, this old chap. We had a conversation with him. I think it was in Melbourne. What do you call it? DFO, so forth. Really good conversation. But only towards the end, when we found out that he was one of the ministers in Malaysia. I wonder if we had known that before we had the conversation, whether our conversation would have been different.
I think it would have been different. Yeah, because of the context and so on, and also a degree of respect.
Yeah, exactly.
That you give to the person.
Yeah. So then, maybe now moving forward, you talk about serving others. You talk about titles, while giving you certain access. Don't really hold that much difference in your purpose. So if I were to ask, who is Ustaz Dr. Muhammad Hannan? How would you answer that? No, interestingly, Shaza, your first daughter, the one whom I'm married to, we had this conversation where she asked me, it was over breakfast, she asked me, how would you describe yourself? Without describing what you do, who you are. How would you portray yourself? It was difficult for me. Yeah, not easy. Because the first thing that comes to mind is, I'm a father. That was the first thing that came to mind. But that's describing me lah kan. But in terms of, maybe character-wise, or how you view yourself, So who is then Ustaz Dr. Muhammad Hannan?
I would love to hear what others think about me. But if I'm asked that question, at the risk of being seen as arrogant, may Allah forgive me. But I'll see myself since young, I'm the servant to the people. I enjoy serving others. I remember as a young teenage, and I was the first Singaporean studying in Kuwait. We didn't have any Singaporeans prior to that. So being the abang, although in terms of age I'm far more younger, I've got another 2 brothers with me, so we were 3 in Kuwait. And I was probably the youngest among the colleagues over there. But yet, because of my precedents, being the first Singapore in that place. So the tendency of helping those who come after is just natural. Attending to them while they're preparing to go to Kuwait, and when they arrive there, and the satisfaction of seeing others happy, seeing others' life fulfilled, making a difference on others. Right? I didn't know how to describe then, but as you age and as I'm here now, recalling what is that one thing that I really enjoy most, I think it's really about serving people. And that I think is really from both my parents, my mother and father. It's always a community. They were very active in the community, serving the community through various means, and I witnessed them, and it just be part of my life. So if there's one thing, I'm servant to the people, or the khadam to the people. Yeah.
Okay. Just pause. It's drizzling a bit, but I just want to check.
I'm
Baba
okay.
okay. It looks clear, but somehow it started drizzling. But it's a really, really nice weather, and Melbourne's weather can be pretty erratic. Okay, I just want to ask, you talked about serving the people, and then the first thing that comes to mind right after that was, what was your most memorable sort of, I don't know, I don't want to say case, but memorable, not really an incident, but something memorable, like you've helped a certain individual, and then this is something that stuck through with you till now, and something that you can never forget. You want to share?
It doesn't have to be huge number. It doesn't have to be the community. I remember this one afternoon. I was at international conference, so I was having the lunch, and at the buffet, taking my lunch. An old friend came to me and hugged me tight. And we talked a bit. And then he said, Hannan, I translate it into English. Hannan, thank you very much. And I said, oh, okay. Yeah, what's up? Until now, I still remember some of the things that you said when we were in Kuwait. Wow. So that was like some 25 years ago. And he could relate things that I said to him. And he said that, then I didn't know, that I didn't appreciate. But now I understand. Now I truly appreciate. I want to thank you for those things. Now I remember this brother was one of the junior students, so to speak. In terms of age, he's older than me.
Okay.
And I was taking care of the new students, including himself. And those days, without the advancement of technology, sometimes I had to walk close to 1 hour to go to and visit him and so on. Right? But touching the hearts of even a single person, making a difference even in one person's life, that was the greatest satisfaction. And that guy, that brother, was head of a university when we met.
So it's already someone.
Someone, big one. And he's now a politician.
Wow.
Right? It's a national leader.
Okay.
A big country. I don't want to name the country. But yeah, now he's a national leader. So is that making a change, touching hearts, it's not about the number of hearts that you touch, but making a difference in one's life and touching the heart of a single person, that is the greatest satisfaction. And that's precisely what Rasulullah said in the hadith, for you to be a reason for someone to change. And the reward is whatever that you can imagine in this world and the hereafter.
Actually, at what point do you realize that this is your calling? Because you mentioned, when you're in Kuwait, you were the first one there, and after that, when new students came in, you wanted to reach out, help out. At what point do you realize that, you know what, this is who I want to be, and this is who I want to become?
Good question, Izzat. I never asked that question. I never asked when did I develop this. It was just probably natural. Now, conditions shape you.
Yes,
The conditions of your time influence you, shape you to be what you are.
Yep.
You may not be cognizant of those conditions, but in a way or another, they shape you. So I want to think that these are some of the conditions. My parents, this is one. Witnessing both my parents in their work with the community, being in difficult positions, like I was mentioning earlier, when we were in Kuwait, and there were many other problems. So you're just put in certain conditions that shape you, right? So I don't know when, particularly. Probably the consciousness, I would say, probably only recently.
Oh,
Especially when
interesting.
after I stepped down.
They realized that this is, you know what, this is me. This is what I want to continue doing. Were those the thoughts that you had in mind?
Because people ask me, so even you all, the children ask me, so Baba, what have you lost most? What is the biggest loss?
Yep.
And as I reflect, it's the people. No, it's the people.
The people that you work with directly, or
not necessarily. So the people, I mean, these are my colleagues,
Right.
my co-travelers, the people whom I serve.
Yep.
And it's not just, as mentioned earlier, not just one people, one community, but the peoples. No? And I mentioned earlier that access to these people, I mean, titles and positions do help in terms of access to these people.
Yes.
So without these positions and authority and power, I may have limited access to the people. I want to admit that. I recognize that thing. So that's one big loss. However, because the people are so important to me, I want to think that I've sown seeds, planted trees, the past 28 years or even more than that, 40 years ago. And obviously this departure does have effect in terms of serving the people. So the next chapter is really continue to serve other peoples. And as what I said earlier, or even in the past, it's nurturing new farm and new field. So it's rebuilding the buildings or the farm brick by brick, tree by tree, and hopefully this become my amal jariyah for the future.
Inshallah. Yeah. I had a question just now. Let me try to recall it. Yes, because we were talking about identity, what you're calling, right? And then I was just thinking, some people, actually a lot of the younger folks, they worry about not finding themselves at a very young age, early 20s. I'm in my 30s, and I feel like those in the 20s are budak-budak, are kids. Because and you don't have to know, basically you don't have to know what you want to do, you just have to do. That has always been my advice, even to Shaza. You just need to take the first step forward. And it's actually quite heartening that you mentioned that you really found your true calling only recently.
Yes.
And in your prime age of, you want to reveal your age?
Yeah, my career, I'm okay. I've to my 60s, I'm in the late 50s.
Late 50s, right?
Yeah.
So I think to the audience, maybe just in case you're lost, in case you're thinking, you know, what's my purpose in life? You know, what do I want to do? And probably later on, we want to seek your advice as well, for them. But I think personally, my first advice would be not to worry.
Yeah.
You have a long journey ahead of you. Basically, take the first step, whatever that it is that come to mind. Try.
Yeah.
Just try. Well, but what about you, Baba? What do you have to say?
No, in the human race timeline,
Hmm.
years is not the minimum unit. You don't really measure our journey in years. It's not really the smallest unit of the measurement. I think probably generations, right? So I've said this often to friends, to colleagues, and to my mentees. If you are 20 years, 30 years of age, that's not baligh yet, no.
Ouch.
The age of scholarly and community work, probably when you're at 40 years old. And Prophet Muhammad SAW received his revelation
40.
at 40 years old,
Yep.
right? So that's the age of a generation. That you become mature, you baligh and so on. But you're right. Don't overthink. Don't be too analytical about things. Sometimes this is what they call the when you overanalyze stuff, you're not able to move forward. The paralysis of analysis,
Yep.
as I said, right?
Yep.
You get paralyzed because you overanalyze stuff. Obviously, you must think, you must plan, and then you tawakkal, and then you will discover. You discover this. So my personal journey is one example, probably. After years, then I realized, oh yeah, this is probably my calling. Things that I find satisfaction. I didn't know how to describe it then. So do not overanalyze. Remain humble. My cliche, my advice always is remain humble, and then you discover. Like I mentioned, that these wisdoms, these are treasures that you can find from whomsoever, anywhere. You just need to open up your minds, open up your hearts, look around, and you'll discover.
But I think we also do need to empathize with the current generation. I think there's this expectation, there's this I'm not sure if it's because of social media, because I don't know, maybe there are younger bosses around, younger leaders in organizations. There's this expectation where they need to achieve, like the younger you are, as in if you achieve it at a younger age, you are more successful. Somehow success is measured that way nowadays, and I do find it. I mean, like I said, in my 30s, sometimes it's stifling.
Yeah. You should be telling me that thing because you are of that age.
Yeah.
But I will look at the idea or the concept of success. So when one thinks that one has been successful or is successful, that I have successfully achieved blah 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 blah, one will realize later that no, that's not the whole story. Right? You have more things to arrive at, to discover. So that success may not be really the success that you mean, but it is. Imagine a journey, and then you have R&R. You stop for a while. Okay, I survived up to now, and you discover that no, that's not really the whole success. This journey is not about arriving at that point you consider successful. This journey is about really walking the path, and along the path you discover. When you have arrived at certain point of success, then discover there are a lot more to achieve or to discover. And this goes to our conversation with our colleagues, a friend whom we met with the Menteri, right?
Yep.
A marathon runner.
Yes.
And we asked, will you make to the top 10 or top 20? No, right?
It's about completing.
Yeah, to him, it's not about being first or second or third. It's not about the number, where you stand vis-a-vis the others. But it's about your own success indicators. It's about completing that 42 kilometer, right? And so that now you're 42 kilometer, then later, then you move on. So it's never about being number one or number two, number three. It's about discovering yourself. What are you capable of?
Yeah. I think sometimes that's really the hardest, because this takes time,
Sure.
right? It takes you need to go through it. You need to fail first. You need to unlearn. You need to experience it, and then later on, then you're like, you know what? Maybe I try this time.
Yeah.
And I think Shaza is a great example of that.
Yeah.
So for the benefit of our audience, so she studied in law, at law and Sharia law, and then after that, she went into social service, and then she went into motherhood, and then she took a master's, and then she just finished a master's, and that is itself, it's been a journey of 6-7 years, and hopefully, she managed to find what she likes and pursue it, and probably she should listen to this podcast.
Yeah, and those are not failures. No,
no, of course.
When one discovers that this is not what I want to do, I want to do something else.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that those years have been spent in vain.
Agree.
Or
Agree.
those were failed years. Not at all.
Agree.
Because it is because of all this experience you discover.
Yep.
So as I mentioned that you walk on that path, you stumble or something, whatever, you arrive at a certain point and then discover, hey, there's a new peak. Then that is my peak, not this one. Until and unless you walk that path, you'll not discover.
Yeah.
So were those years in vain, futile? No, not at all. So we don't see those years as failures. We didn't achieve anything. On the contrary, those are steps for you to discover yourself. And probably even after this, you will discover something else.
Yep. True.
Right?
Yeah.
So that humility is equally important.
Yep. Yeah. Reminder of something close to heart. KFC was founded when the owner, I don't think he's called Colonel Sanders, I'm not sure, but only when he was 60, in his 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one, the picture with the white beard.
I saw this posting. Sorry, just a bit of a jest. It's supposed to be a bow tie, right? But if you really look at it, sometimes it looks like a stick man, and you can never unsee it.
Well, I didn't notice that.
later you see.
Okay. Alhamdulillah.
Right. Yeah. So that's great advice. It's a journey. It's a marathon.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Not really doesn't matter, but we don't have to always finish first. Don't have to always finish second. I think it's a bonus if we do, but it doesn't define our success. It is not a criteria for us to feel good.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Sometimes the pressure. I totally understand. Sometimes it can be the pressure.
But no, even Izzat, even if one argues that that guy won the Olympic medal for marathon, right? So he was successful, having gained gold medal. But life is not just about that particular game or that particular race. There are various other races, that one runs.
Yeah.
The different kind of challenges that one faces. So he or she may be successful in that particular part of the race, but may not be so on the others. So similarly, we may be successful in certain race, but not on the others, right? So we cannot simply say that no, he won the gold medal for that marathon, because life is not just that.
So maybe what can one do to, I don't know, like maybe I don't want to wait 20 years. You know, I don't want to wait 20 years for me to realize, oh, this is my calling. I want to hasten the process a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, what can one do to achieve that?
You may do, you may hasten, you may achieve what you think that this is my calling. But as far as life is going on, you may discover later that that's not.
Yeah.
And that we do not know until we walk the path. Right? So yes, you can. To give an example, our education system now at primary level, you already learn maths, certain thing that decades ago only at secondary level. So yes, you have arrived. At a young age, you already know how to use computer. No, our kids now at very young age knows how to use computer. Now they are even studying coding and so on and so forth. But even at the technology part, later you discover those things are becoming obsolete very fast, very easy, right?
Yeah.
So it's not your achievement even. Things are moving on, advancing. So that's the humility that we need to have, to know that hey, that may not be, everything.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think that journey itself probably helps in finding your identity. Of course, we've been talking about measurements of success. We've been talking about what one can do in terms of in the professional life. How about maybe you can share a bit of I don't know, bit of a life story. How do you go about exploring the different avenues? Being in Mufti, being in Muiz, how were you exposed to the different aspects of serving the community?
Yeah.
And how do you go about okay, if let's say I didn't fancy this, and it was good while it lasted, but I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. My probably 25 years of playing a supervisory role, heading units or clusters, I have this habit of introducing new programs, new stuffs, right? Because when we work at a certain project and the project is done, then you get restless, you want to do something else, right? And therefore you introduce new things and so on and so forth. This is really about creating, if not finding, but creating meanings for me. In order for me to stay, I want to be able to create meanings, not just for me, but for the people whom I serve. So therefore, doing something new, probably unthought of, and it gives you meanings. That satisfaction, right? Satisfaction. But creating meanings alone is not sufficient for me. In order to create new stuff, new areas, new field, new meanings, I need to have the space to be able to do that. In other words, that trust for me to work on these initiatives. But if I do not enjoy that trust, I cannot create meanings, and I cannot create new meanings because I do not have the space to do that. Then I need to find new fields, new forms to be able to do that. Right? Find meanings in what you do, not just for yourself, but for the people whom you serve, and space to be able to do that.
I think that's the most important.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Yes, definitely, because sometimes you may join an organization, or you may join maybe any organization actually, be it volunteering, be it professional,
Mm.
and it might not be in line
Sure.
with your own principles, kan?
Yeah.
So yeah, totally get that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
Alhamdulillah.
good. So maybe just a bit of a background for the audience right now. Well, it's not really a grilling session. We're having a grilling session behind us. Gonna have some wagyu for dinner, inshallah.
Halal wagyu, by the way.
Of course. Yeah. So I think you've shared quite a bit on identity. I think we've covered quite extensively in terms of how you found your calling, who you are, basically outside of work, outside of basically who is Ustaz Hannan, right?
Yeah.
And how did Ustaz Hannan come about? I think that's great, and you've shared some wisdom in terms of how when one can maneuver and find ways to develop one's identity, and also a purpose, creating meanings in life. Maybe just want to extend. Maybe do you have any parting words for audience in terms of how they can
Yeah.
find themselves, and especially those that like I said, still young, or even old, in the 40s. Okay, I'm probably going to get cancelled for saying 40s old, but older than me. But who are still finding their way, yeah, finding their identity, finding their purpose, their meaning in life. Maybe you can,
Yeah.
some parting words for them.
First point is walk the path. Continue to walk, never give up. And this is by serving others. I've mentioned earlier that the smallest unit is not the year, but it's early generation. So I don't know how long it takes, 20, 40 years. I know an Ustaz, after 10 years, then he said to me, now I understand. Does it have to be 10 years? Maybe yes, maybe no. But allow yourself to journey. Right? Allow yourself to journey, walk this path, and you'll discover. That's one. Secondly, I mentioned about the people and serving the people, serving the creations, right? Not necessarily with people. Today, it's not just the people, but even the world, right? With the
Environment.
climate change, the sustainability
Yep.
issue. So we need to serve these plants, help them. So serving is not just the people, but also the creations, right? My second point, to me, I started by saying that people is really the greatest asset, and I will miss them most. And I will continue. I will want to continue to, to touch the hearts and make a difference. I want to spend time writing books, but my book is not just papers or chapters in the book. It's not just words on the paper. My book is the people. Some may have this expectation on me to publish more, to write more, especially being an academic or with my degree and so on and so forth. And people tend to compare me with some of the people, for example, even with some of my siblings, right?
Yep.
Why are you not publishing? I said, yes, I may not be publishing words on the paper, in books, and so forth, because at that point, I'm publishing people, so to speak, through mentoring, coaching, guiding, and touching the hearts of the people. That requires a lot of time. Mentoring and coaching will take hours in a week. People may not realize that. You are not out there giving lectures with thousands of people. It's spending hours with individuals, right? So writing a book to me is not necessarily only writing, publishing those papers in a book. Writing a book to me is really writing people's stories, touching the hearts, and really educating people, guiding and mentoring people. And I hope those are the books that I publish. right? I want to think, inshallah, many of our asatizahs think of them as my book.
Mm-hmm.
But that said, now that I have greater time, I will want to publish books, right?
Yes.
Ya Bunayya is an example.
Yep.
Many of these stories and wisdoms are encapsulated in the Ya Bunayya 1, 2, and 3. I will continue to publish that. I've started writing on my mom, as well as my dad. So I want to write more. These are some of the life stories, life experience. I will also want to publish a bit of some academic, serious work, inshallah, in the
Yep.
future. So I hope to be able to publish those two books, The People,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the books in the library that you imagine.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Oh, inshallah. There's a lot of things coming up from Ustaz Hannan. And just to expand on the book, you can actually purchase the Ya Bunayya Volume 3 book from Wardah Bookstore, or you can reach out to us on Instagram, or reach out to Ustaz Hannan as well on m.hanan.hasan. Correct?
Dr.
Dr.
dr.hannan.h.
Hannan
Ah.
on Instagram. Yeah, and with that, thank you very much, Baba, for your
Thank you.
time.
Pleasure.
And hopefully this podcast has been useful for everyone.
Inshallah.
The chat has definitely been beneficial for me.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Thank
we have.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.